Hello, everyone. This is your host, Irsa Khalid, and I welcome you all to another exciting episode of Conversation with the Diplomat by Diplo TV. Diplo TV is an initiative of the Diplomatic Insight, which is Pakistan's premier foreign policy and diplomacy platform for over 17 years. We believe in peace through informed dialogue, and this show is one of the flagship platforms to further that vision. My dear fellows, at its heart, diplomacy is the story of curiosity, patience, and understanding, of listening to voices across oceans and finding the threads that connect us all. It transforms conflicts into cooperation, uncertainty into dialogue, and strangers into partners. Today, we explore diplomacy not just as a practice, but as a living story that shapes the world in ways both subtle and profound. Today on Diplo TV, we are honored to host a distinguished diplomat whose career spans decades of service across the globe. I'm honored to introduce His Excellency Naeem Khan, High Commissioner of Pakistan to Rwanda. Greetings to you, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much.
Viewers, let me tell you more about our guest. From serving as a consul general in Afghanistan to taking on key roles as acting ambassador, deputy ambassador, and the head of chancellery in countries including Canada, Cuba, Argentina, and Spain, his journey reflects both leadership and global perspective. Beyond diplomacy, he is also an educator, mentor, and founder of institutions dedicated to communication, career development, and youth empowerment. With experience in our around numerous countries and command of multiple languages, he truly represents the spirit of global engagement. We are delighted to welcome Mr. Naeem Khan to Diplo TV. So, my
Thank
first question to you is before we talk about your work, we'd love to know the person behind this role. Can you tell us a little about your life journey and what keeps you motivated?
Thank you so much, Diplomat TV. And your TV is highly important because nowadays diplomacy that is so much essential in the world and communication that is highly essential for diplomacy. And you are doing this telecommunication and mass communication. So I appreciate your services. Let me start from my village. I'm from Shahdiri, Swat. I'm Karmali Khail Yusufzai Pashtun from a small village in Swat. And from there, I started my education career. Then I did my MPhil and I was selected as Assistant Commissioner from PCS, Provincial Civil Services. And before that, I was also in Banking Council exam. So I was officer in National Bank of Pakistan. And before that, also, I was training officer in Chatral Area Development Project. And after that, I did my CSS Foreign Service Pakistan. I joined, which was my only choice because I was already Assistant Commissioner and Acting Deputy Commissioner. And now, for the last more than 25 years, I'm in Foreign Service of Pakistan. As you mentioned, I traveled and I served in many, many countries. Also, I served as Director General Africa and Director General Consular Affairs, Director General Overseas Pakistanis, Director General Crisis Management Unit in Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan. And before that, also I served as Director Canada, Latin America. I also served as Assistant Director USA, Central Asia, and also I've served as Deputy Chief of Protocol, DCP. So I have a lot of activities in Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well as our missions abroad.
As you have mentioned, like you are a very accomplished man, I would say. Why did you choose foreign service, and why you choose that this is the profession you want to, pursue?
Just as an inspiration or motivation for the young people who are listening to us. When I was in seventh grade in my school in my village, I remember the whole geography book, and I would know all the countries of the world, their capitals, their currencies, and their other details. So it was my passion from that time to see the world, to go around the world, and unconsciously, I was preparing myself for the foreign service career. I joined many other services, as I mentioned, in bank and in extension training department, human resource development, and as assistant commissioner, subdivisional magistrate. But I was not, my soul that was not so much satisfied. So I wrote only foreign service in my CSS, Central Superior Services exam, the only service. I didn't because there are 12 service groups.
Right.
make a priority and number one, two, three, four, five. But I just wrote only one. And in my CSS Viva, when they know that I already know three, four languages, I was very fluent in Arabic, I was very fluent in Persian, and I know something about Spanish and Uzbek language and others. So then the interview panel, they understood me and then they selected me for foreign service. So this was a very long journey because CSS is not easy,
Right,
but
absolutely.
uh,
You basically prepared yourself throughout for this role, I would say. What are the sacrifices you have to give when you are in this service or in this role?
I was not aware of the difference between hard work and smart work. But this
Right.
was happening to me that I was always like a smart working person. I did not go through a lot of sacrifices, and I was like target focused, and I would enjoy my studies. I studied for more than 15 hours, 16 hours per day for many, many years, but I would enjoy it. So for me, it was not a sacrifice. And also, I was highly social in my university and college life. I would join many associations and public speaking events,
Vocal
and
person.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was expressive, communicative, extrovert. So I was not like so much reserved kind of person. So these things, I remember that in university, I would do the competitions to the whole dictionary. I would ask me any question, any word from the dictionary, and I will tell you the meaning and the use of that word. So my vocabulary and the glossary and my communication skills. So these things made me unconsciously, like I didn't know what
Right.
is it work or smart work or whatever. Later on, I understood it in psychology and philosophy that one should enjoy the work. So the same hard work becomes smart work. So I don't remember a lot of sacrifices, but I went through some hardships and I was like suffering and there was a lot of pain and that thing was not there. I enjoyed my study. I enjoyed my communication skills. I enjoyed my interaction with people. So that's why I could qualify the written and the verbal, the viva part of the CSS.
Right. So, as you have mentioned that there were no sacrifices while you were preparing for CSS because you have always been doing this. But when you join the service and when you are in there, then there's the whole new world ahead of you. And there will be moments where you have thought about, okay, this is not what I imagined. Like as a young people or any ordinary one, man will think that as foreign service is about charm. You go from countries to countries, you meet different people. But what are the realities? What are the important things that people should know? That this is not what foreign service is. What is the actual work or actual roles and responsibilities which you perform in it?
Yeah, if we start from the end, that today I am High Commissioner of Pakistan to Rwanda, but I am also Ambassador of Pakistan to Angola and Burundi. Angola is in the West South Africa and Burundi is in the East Africa. So I'm taking care of three countries as an ambassador. And as I mentioned that I was Director General Africa, so I would focus on the whole continent. But if we go back, and when I joined as Assistant Director of Central Asia in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so my salary and my financial benefit was too meager because I came from the Assistant Commissioner post. And for me, there was a small office, and in one small room, my whole world was there, like my assistants and PA and typist, and everybody was there in one small room. So from there, I started my career. Financial challenges were so many because to live in Islamabad with a very meager salary, that was one of the challenge. Later on, international traveling was exciting, but it was also challenging. I would not see my parents, my family, my
Right.
siblings for many, many years. And I would not be able to attend many funerals, many marriages, and my cousins and my uncles and my other people, they would always complain. My parents would understand. I was doing my senior management course in Peshawar, so that was I was lucky that I was in Peshawar, so I could attend the funeral of my late mother. But many other such events I missed. because if you are in Argentina, if you are in Cuba, in Canada, in so many countries, and just to reach Pakistan, and then you lose contact with the the local traditions and
Right,
culture, and you go around. So there is a kind of downside, and then you do not have a fixed place where you can
right.
establish yourself. Your house, you don't have a house. You are just like a nomad going from one place to another place.
So if
So these
this
are some
nomadic
of the
life
challenges.
works,
It's exciting. Yeah.
you can continue.
Yes. So I mean that these things, as you are globally, you are traveling and you are doing interactions with the leadership, with the presidents, prime ministers, with the ministers, and with the intellectuals and scientists and all the globally known personalities. You enjoy all these things, but you lose kind of contact with the local roots that where you come from. So that is the missing part, that you miss your country, you miss your town, your village, your city. This is one of the things. Otherwise, it is quite exciting because Pakistan, living in Pakistan, has its own happiness, its own excitement. Pakistan has a very vibrant culture. Our food. Pakistan is also like in the top
Right.
20 countries are GDP, PPP, like purchase power parity. It is one of the cheapest countries in the world, the less expensive, even today, despite all the challenges. So
Yes.
in $1, like you have around 300 rupees. So in 300 rupees, you can do a lot of things. But with $1, you cannot do so much in other countries.
Right.
So in other countries, your financial challenges is also a big problem because you are getting your salary in dollars, but you are spending it also in dollars. So then saving and that aspect is
Mhm.
also one of the challenge.
And what do you think about this nomadic life, as you have mentioned? Is it worth it that you go from country to country throughout your life and live a few years and then you have to move on to other country, and especially when you have a family with you?
Yes, it is worthy because we choose our life. Okay, this is the philosophy of existentialism, that we exist because we choose it. The way I am, because this is my choice and this is my rational choice. I am not forced. The CSS people or the foreign service people or Minister of Foreign Affairs, they did not come to me and they forced me that you must do this job.
Right.
So this is my rational choice, and I enjoy it. There are some challenges, there are some downsides I earlier mentioned, but I speak now 9 fluent languages. I have been to so many countries, and I'm like I saw so many cultures and so many civilizations with my own eyes that I would read in books or I would see those in movies. But now I see it with my own eyes and I experience
Yeah.
it. So this is exciting part. And yes, it doesn't mean that you are totally away from Pakistan. We have a tenure in Pakistan also. After 2 postings, you go back to Pakistan, you spend there 1 2 years, and then you are sent to other countries. So you can strike a balance between Pakistan and the world. As Pakistan is our home, so you miss your home, but you have to be out to do your
You
work,
have
your
to
job.
leave one thing
Uh,
to achieve another. So
yes, yes.
what is it which you miss most about your country? Is it any food, tradition, culture, or any little small thing?
Yeah, I miss Pakistani food, which is not available everywhere, and also the Pakistani love, affection, solidarity, union. You are sitting with your family, you are
Meeting
enjoying, you are
people,
having. So there is more collectivism, and in other countries there is more individualism. So you feel like individual, like alone, or loneliness, or that solitude. So the solitude also gives you a lot of benefits, but the Pakistani fanfare and the
right?
giant families and extended families and your friends and cousins and school friends and childhood friends, and you go on talking to each other, that kind of thing, because the world invented machine, but they themselves became so much mechanical. Like the life
Right.
is so much. You can say mechanical, very much sometimes artificial. So you feel that real, genuine, authentic feelings of your own country and your own people.
Right. Currently, you are in Rwanda. So tell our viewers about one thing that you have noticed here and you that really surprised you. You know, so aware us about that thing.
I was surprised when I was told that when you come to Rwanda, you cannot have a single inch centimeter of plastic. So remove all the plastic from your baggage, from your luggage, an interview. Though you are a diplomat, you are an ambassador, you have diplomatic immunity, you have privileges, but no compromise on plastic. So in the whole country, you don't see plastic. Nowhere in supermarkets and streets and nowhere there is plastic. And
So,
at the
so
airport,
what is
they
the
ensure
alternative? What is the alternative? What do they use if they don't use plastic?
uh, Rwanda is a clean, green, and safe country.
Okay.
And to make it clean and green, they use plastic instead of plastic bags. They use paper bags. Many people I see here, they just take the things in their hands. Like there are some baskets or some packets or some things, so they can just take it in their hands and take it to their car instead
Okay.
of just putting it first in the plastic bag and then removing it. They say I can take it if there is something like powder or something liquid, so they may put it in some which is impossible that you can carry it, so then they
Right.
have paper bags and other alternatives, and it is very safe. Like at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, you can go anywhere. Nobody will disturb you. Nobody will take you. Maybe you have your phone in your hand. Nobody will snatch it. So it is a very safe country. When I
Okay.
met the Inspector General of Police here, so he told us that His Excellency President Paul Kagame, of the President of Rwanda, he told the IGP, the head of the police of the country, that here everybody should take security for granted. So then he explained what is for granted. It means that don't maintain security with a lot of police and a lot of
Right.
security guards with a lot of weapons. No, people should feel that unsecure without any artificial security arrangements. So this was another surprising thing for me. And it is so green that you will not find maybe a single inch in the country without a tree or without a plant. Everywhere there is plantation, trees. Nobody can cut the trees at their will. They have very strict rules and regulations. Deforestation, impossible, unimaginable that you go and you cut a tree. Impossible. Like it is a big, big crime. So they take care of the environment, and the governance model is very much impressive. Everything is digitalized. I remember when I arrived, so I had some cash in my pocket, and I went to take some coffee, and the coffee shop told me, no, we don't accept cash. You have to pay online. And then I had to ask some friend and please pay for me because I don't have my card yet. So digitalized governance model, zero corruption, totally transparent. So the governance model is highly impressive.
That are the wonderful things, and I am myself am surprised that we do have a very unique sort of perspectives and narratives about the countries in Africa. And when we go there, or we should, if we learn them from our primary sources, then we'll get to know, okay, so this is some kind of other world. And all the things which you have mentioned has really are really wonderful and has surprised me. Also, tell us what defines a true diplomat.
When there is a conflict, there is a war, or there is any problem, so we have three ways to resolve it. Number one is negotiations, communication, parley, talks, table talks. So we call it diplomacy. And there is any problem, or you want to improve the relations between two countries, or there are two types of diplomacy: bilateral diplomacy and multilateral diplomacy. So nowadays, multilateral diplomacy is in a big turmoil itself because multilateralism, like United Nations or international organizations, they are not so much effective. And always they were criticized that they are not delivering what they should be. I'm
Exactly.
just talking this for food for thought for the people who are watching.
Right.
to compare bilateral diplomacy and multilateral diplomacy. Because multilateral diplomacy, that is the product of idealism, that human nature is very good and we should go for cooperation and we should go for solidarity and we should help each other. So that's why we should have international organizations. While bilateral diplomacy between states, two states, that is the product of realism, that human nature is not good. One should prepare for war and one should have very strong defense. And every state must be strong. You cannot depend on international organizations to come and rescue you or help you. So, in both bilateral and multilateral diplomacy, the thing that we use, that is language, that is words, that is communication. We don't hate each other, we don't strike, we don't fight, but we just talk to each other and we prepare the ground that the problem should be resolved. So a diplomat must be a great negotiator. And sometimes the word diplomat we use as a synonym for hypocrite. Like we said, don't be a diplomat. Like diplomacy is kind of hypocrisy, means that you have to present a rosy picture. You have to talk about things in a positive way. You cannot be so critical or so negative, though there will be some realities that you cannot hide, but still you have to give hope to people that everything is okay. If it is not okay, it will be okay. So you should be a hardcore optimist that the things are not going in a bad way. Everything will be all right. So some people call it kind of hypocrisy, that why you are not telling the reality. But a diplomat will change the reality with the positivity, with optimism, with hope, not to disappoint people, not to be
Right.
too pessimistic. And I was telling you about the three ways. So the second way, when diplomacy fails, so we go for law. Like there are two people, they have a conflict. So first they talk to each other. Other after that, if it doesn't work, so they go to police, they go to courts. In international scenario, we go to international law, like International Court of Justice. And the third way is the war. In international relations, war is a reality. Some people have they justify wars. Some people they are against wars. But war is one of the reality that every state must accept and every state must be ready for it. And Pakistan is a power, and Pakistan understands this reality that yes, we have very strong foreign service. Our diplomats in the world have a big name, but at the same time, we also have very good legal aspects or international law, and then also our security or defense. That is also our priority. So when there is a war, so the war is not declared by uh, defense or Ministry of Defense or army or other people. The war is declared by Ministry of Foreign Affairs
Right.
because now diplomacy failed. That's why we are going to war. So diplomacy is the best option to resolve conflicts, problems, and for that you need knowledge, you need understanding of the issue, a lot of understanding, so that you can convince. You must be very rational, very logical. As in diplomacy or any communication, you have three ingredients which are important: the logos, pathos, and ethos. These are the three important things. Logos means that logic, like you must have a reason to negotiate why logically or rationally you are talking about this topic. The second is pathos. And pathos, that is your emotionality. That your pathos, you understand the emotional attachment. Like we have Pakistan as our country, so we must present Pakistan with our patriotism. That is pathos. And the third one is ethos. Ethos
Okay.
means that you have ethics and you have authority.
Right.
When you present something with ethics, then you have authority. Like I'm ambassador, I'm plenipotentiary, extraordinary ambassador because I have been sent here by my government, by my Minister of Foreign Affairs, by my Minister of Foreign Affairs, by the Prime Minister, by the President. So the state of a country like Pakistan gives you the authority so that you can behave in an ethical way, and then you have the power and authority to present and represent your country. And I was reading the other day BBC research that most of the young people They are struggling with the meaning of life. What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? So we need those people who are not so young and they have experiences of life, they have wisdom, they have knowledge. So they should give hope to the world that yes, despite all the challenges, one should be hopeful and that one can find the meaning and the purpose of life so that you feel to be productive, happy, prosperous, your biological needs, your psychological needs, your social needs, your self-actualization. All these things are fulfilled, so you feel happy, energetic, dynamic, contributing to the welfare, to the development of society.
Thank you so much, Mr. Naeem. It was truly a pleasure to talking to you, and thank you for giving us time and actually accepting our invitation. And you are an institution, I would say, especially your thoughts on diplomacy, your journey, and your observations around the world. You have traveled around 60 countries, if I'm not mistaken. I was reading about you. So
Maybe
that
more
was
than that.
even,
Yeah.
yeah, it was more than 60 countries. This was the line. So I was mesmerized, and everybody wished to see the world. And because when you see the world, you get the whole picture. Here at one place, you are in your own thing. You don't know what's happening around, so your vision would be very broad due to your experience. So thank you so much. It was a wonderful talk.
One last message that please
Oh,
focus on Africa. Africa, we have a lot of misconceptions about Africa, but
yes.
Africa is the future and Africa is the present. For Pakistanis and for others, it's a great continent for their businesses, for their investment, for their imports, exports, even the agriculture sector. And there are so many. We can do some other program on opportunities in Africa.
Right.
So Africa should be one of the priorities of your Diplo TV. We may not ignore Africa in the limelight of other continents. Thank you
Exactly.
so much.